Welcome to the My Crazy Office podcast with the authors of Working With You Is Killing Me, Working For You Isn't Working For Me, and Mean Girls at Work, Kathy Elster and Catherine Crowley. They're committed to creating world peace, one crazy office at a time. And now, here are Kathy and Catherine.
Hey everyone, I'm Kathy Elster.
And I'm Catherine Crowley, and welcome to My Crazy Office.
We're alone today, Catherine.
We're flying solo.
Oh my God, with just Logan here. No,
Just Logan.
Well,
Just
I'm
me.
sorry, that
Guys. Sorry to disappoint on this week's episode.
He can be funny sometimes.
I'm sorry I said that. Anyway, we're minus a comedian, but we think we're pretty funny.
Forget you heard that. Let's go to the...
Let's just go to our first question.
Fast forward to the question.
Yeah.
I was interviewed yesterday for a different position within my company. Halfway through the interview, I wanted to run out of the room as I realized that the job was not a good fit for me. The interviewers were pleasant, I was well prepared, and felt that I did a good job at answering their questions. But as the dialogue progressed, it became apparent that this department was a train wreck.
Ooh.
Next week, I am scheduled to interview with the director and HR person for this role. I'm asking myself, how can I give it my all if I'm no longer interested in the position? Can I politely ask HR to withdraw my application, or would that shed a bad light on me for future openings? Or do I take a deep breath and do the interview and then pray I don't get offered the job and no one will be any wiser?
No, praying about a job interview. No.
Do not ask for Jesus
No, that's not going to work. No.
in this interview.
What's wrong with just withdrawing your application?
That's a very good question. It seems like the best thing to do, honestly, given the circumstances.
Yeah, no, I think if you interview, whether it's in your company or outside of your company, and you know you don't want that job, you have to come up with a reason, not that...
A reason why you want to withdraw your
you have to say, I've
application?
decided I really like what I'm doing, or I think I want to go in a different direction, or I really appreciated that interview and looking at their challenges, but I think, I want to do something else. I mean, I think you just have to come up with a reason that sounds plausible. Not they're a train wreck.
Yeah.
Or I stubbed my toe and I can't make it up for the interview. Yeah. I agree. I think you have to find a reason exactly that sounds as if it's career-minded as
Right.
opposed to you noticed how dysfunctional the department is. But also to understand, I think many people don't understand that the point of an interview is for you to interview them as well, which is what this person successfully did, right? He or she was able to vet that department and see that it's not worth making a commitment.
Right, exactly. But I don't think HR is going to see this as a bad thing.
No.
That she's saying, no, that's not the right job for me. I think that's legit. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So Logan had never heard that
I'd
term.
never heard of that term, withdrawing
Your
your application or your resume.
So what did you
That's really
think?
interesting. I think it's great. I could see why it would maybe make someone feel awkward. It seems like maybe an awkward or uncomfortable situation. And
Yeah.
it seems like this person's main concern is that they don't want to be seen in a negative light.
Yes.
But so you never heard that. Do you think you just continue going on interviews?
Yeah, I would just continue going
Oh,
on the interview.
interesting.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of people feel that way, that once you start the process, you have to keep going.
Right.
But
Finish it
I think
to the end.
Finish
Would
it to the
Would you also be praying that you wouldn't get it?
Yeah, I'd probably be praying or I'd, mysteriously disappear.
One of the things we say consistently, and I will repeat it again, is that you want to date before you make a commitment.
I think that's true in life as well as in a
ev-
job interview.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's hard to feel as if you have the right to do that. I think that's what you're speaking to, that a lot of times we feel like if we say we're interested, then you have to follow through to the screaming end, whether you are still interested or not.
No, I think it's your obligation actually to withdraw your application. I mean, you could also, if let's say this is not internal, but you
Yeah.
are actually doing external interviewing, and usually if you put your resume out there, it's not just one company that wants you. You may be interviewing in several places.
Yeah.
But once you become a finalist and you realize you're getting warmer in another place, you're more interested, you do have to withdraw your application. You do have to say, I'm really sorry, but
Yeah.
I was interviewing somewhere else, and that offer is just very appealing.
What if you're worried about disappointing them, Kathy?
In life, Catherine, you disappoint. Yeah. I mean, you can't please everybody. And actually, my experience has been you might disappoint, like it might sting for a second, and then they're relieved to know, okay, well, that's not an option, and then they move on. But I mean, if somebody really wants you, they'll come after you.
You're right.
But in general, this is not. There's not a lot of feelings around this. I mean, in the recruitment world, it's about bodies, just getting a body in. It's not. It's not really that deep.
Right. Well, it's hard to remember that, I think. So I think it's great to bring this up and to remind people that it isn't that big a deal, even if it feels as if it is, because in interviews, you can work very hard to kind of win the person over. And then if you have won them over and you realize you don't want the position, you can feel badly about it.
You can feel badly about it?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think this is something people really have to learn, that what you said earlier on is that you're interviewing the company as well. And actually, the way they deal with your withdrawal will tell you a lot about them.
That's true.
They may say, can we call you again for another position because we're very interested in you?
Yeah.
Or they may not respond. It will tell you a lot about them.
Right. But going to the screaming end and then withdrawing will cause bad feelings.
Yeah, I mean, going towards the end, what if you get it? Then what's going to happen? Like, what do? You take a job that you don't want?
That you don't want.
That's not
You're
good.
not passionate about.
Yeah.
You go into the train wreck.
Right.
Start cleaning things up. Okay, well, I think we've got it, which is that withdraw your application.
And feel good about it.
Yeah. Consider it part of the process. Be proud that you did it. You figured out what you don't want and move on.
Yeah.
.org.
Yeah.
You ready for the next question?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, one of my coworkers confided in me that he has decided to look for opportunities elsewhere, which will leave us with a gap upon his likely departure. Others realize that we have a good relationship and will likely expect that I will have known that he was looking. At times, I have considered trying to do what is right for the company by communicating that we may be at risk of losing him, but I also don't want to jeopardize our relationship based on what he has confided to me. Any suggestions?
No.
Zip the lips.
Do not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's confided that. You don't know. First of all, you don't know whether he's actually going to take another job, because he may go through the process and find everywhere else is a train wreck, just like the last question. So you don't really know. And, people have the right to entertain looking at other jobs. It doesn't mean they're going.
They do.
Or quickly.
But what I will say is this is a very hard thing to witness. If you are invested in staying in the company and you don't want to lose your colleague, it's very hard to kind of encourage them or even just quietly watch them seek other opportunities. I can understand completely the pull to want to keep them one way or another.
I don't think that's what she's saying. She's saying that there's going to be a gap in the department, and she thinks she needs to tell her company.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
the
his
question.
position is a pretty big position.
Right.
If
Sounds like
leaves.
he has it's a gap in knowledge. That would be a big loss for the company. So should she tell them that they may have a loss and they have to, they should know ahead of time? The answer to that is no.
That's interesting, because I was hearing it that should she tell them to convince them to try to keep him in some way or another?
No. That is not what this question says. That is not.
I just read it. At times, I have considered trying to do what is right for the company by communicating that we may be at risk of losing him, but I don't want to jeopardize our relationship based on what he has confided to me. If you say, well, we may be at risk of losing him, is the idea that the company would then start interviewing other people in case he leaves?
Absolutely. If she goes and says, look, he's interviewing and we're going to have this big gap, this is a big problem, they're going to immediately start interviewing. And then if he doesn't leave, how's that going to look?
Right.
So no, she can't do that. This is what's more interesting about this to me is that when you are looking, do you tell your friends or not? Because sometimes your friends will be pissed off later to find out you interviewed and I didn't know.
Yeah.
But then you do put them in an awkward position by telling them if you're interviewing.
Yeah.
And then they may feel an obligation to the company. So it's a tough one.
It is. And it brings up all kinds of trust issues.
And they're legitimate trust issues. Because really, who do you trust at work? Not too many people.
Right. Well, and if you're the friend, then you may feel betrayed when they announce that they're leaving, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough world.
I would rather not know. I would rather them have not said anything if it was me.
That's interesting.
Wait,
You'd rather the friend not confide in you if they're looking for work. For
you don't want to know why.
Right.
Why?
Because I'd feel like this individual and feel like I'd have to tell.
Oh.
It's like a secret.
Yeah.
You know, you have a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like secrets?
No.
Yeah. How about you, Catherine? You like
Guilty conscience.
Well, I hold a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
But this kind of secret I wouldn't want to hold. I think that's true. I agree. I'm with Logan on that one. I'd prefer not to know.
It's interesting because even in my...
Would you want to know, or would you?
you know what? Before they tell me, I can tell.
Kathy's watching them on LinkedIn.
I just know when people are interviewing. First of all, they dress in interview clothes. You know, and
they go to doctor's appointments, quote unquote, well dressed.
It's always so obvious when people are interviewing, so you can't really hide from me. But you know, I know this kind of stuff as in being an executive coach.
Yeah.
I may be working with several people in a company, and I know who's interviewing and who isn't. And the truth is, most people are interviewing all of the time.
Well, we encourage it all the time, don't we? Whenever
right.
someone's in a tough workplace situation, Logan, we often say, go interview just so that you know you have options. You never want to feel trapped or held for ransom by an employer.
And depending on your level, I mean, the higher up you go, the longer that process is anyway. It could take a year to land a job. You can be in the interviewing process for 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
The lower, the easier it is to, you go on one interview and you can get a job. But most people are talking and looking.
Yeah.
They are. So I don't really see, I just think you should just assume that most people have their ears open.
Yeah, they're looking for the next opportunity, particularly if it's an ambitious person.
I also think in the work world today, jobs don't last more than 3 years. And I find myself saying to a lot of clients, you've been at that company too long. You're missing out on what's going on in the world. And if you stay with one company, then you're stuck with their systems and the way they do things. And the world is changing so fast that you really owe it to yourself to explore other options.
So we all need
Except for you, Logan. You need to stay here for a long time. That's completely different.
That's right. So go mobile, except Logan.
Except me.
Right.
Think of yourself and your career in a very mobile fashion.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this episode of My Crazy Office.
Yeah. Join us next time for another My Crazy Office podcast. And don't forget to send your questions and your stories to info@mycrazyoffice.co.
My Crazy Office is produced in New York City at K Squared Studios. Stay crazy.